I am Rick Frazier with PDI. I'm here to show you guys a little bit about PDU from PDI. This is basically a monitoring panel board system, and what we have basically is a display. There's a transformer inside this. It's taking 480 in and transforming it to 208 out, and it's monitoring all the circuits associated with the output downstream. And what you basically have is this system. And I'm going to show another unit over here so you can see the breakers. But basically the output is distributed out these breakers that go out to remote power panels. And those is where you're going to have your amperages monitored per circuit. Right here we have on the display basically a very simple display. And right now we have an LED at the top which is showing red. What I'm going to do is press enter to go to the alarm screen, and it has a door open alarm that needs to be cleared. You press the right arrow button to clear, and sometimes you have to press it for a little while, let go, press, but at some point it will turn green. And with that LED, if the LED is green, obviously things are okay. You may see the LED turn red or even yellow. If you see other than green, it's usually an indication of an overcurrent alarm. And you can go over to the remote power panels and you can check either there or from your remote communication system as to which circuit has had an overcurrent in the past. Usually it will have a record of the highest current that it has had for any particular circuit. So also going back to the display, when you press the enter button, it goes from the alarm record to the voltages and the currents in this case. It's going to have voltages for the input of this entire unit, and then when you scroll down it'll have the voltages of the output, and then it'll have kW, kVA, kilowatt hours, neutral current, and things of that nature. You continue to scroll down and it'll have a current read for the output of this unit, and then it's back to the voltage screen. The escape button is for setting up. The password is PDI. In general, you don't really want to go in here and change anything, but one thing you can change is the horn, enabling the horn, or changing the time and the date. But in general, you don't really want to change anything else without PDI here. But anyway, that's basically what's on the screen. So in this case, I'm just going to generate an alarm by opening the door. And I'll clear that in a moment. To stop the alarm sound, I press the right arrow key. And then just to go inside here real quick, you have the main input breaker. When you actuate the EPO, the emergency power off button, it will trip that breaker. And in this case, if for any reason anybody came in here to repair something, or for any other reason, this connector right here is the connector to the shunt trip to this breaker. If I was to come in and repair something, I would pull that shunt trip so that I could work on the machine without some remote chance of an incidental tripping of that breaker, which can be very, very bad. After I'm done, I'll check to see if there's voltage there if you want to be scientific about it, and then replug it in. Basically, you'll have a main control board here, which is for sensing and calculating and whatnot. You got your display board, so you can see what is there, and then a few fuses, control fuses way in the back. And then there's a contractor board here, which is for communication, remote communication amongst other things, and remote EPO. So that's basically what's in there. And that is basically it for this unit. To clear the alarm so that the LED turns back to green, once again, just press the right arrow key, and that alarm will go away. So in this case, the breakers that distribute out to the RPPs are right here. I kind of showed them to you on this one so you can see what they were. Now we're going to go over to the RPP and take a look at one of those. This is the RPP, which is a remote power panel. Each breaker that was on the side of the PDU is distributing, each breaker is going out to one of these. This is one of them. This has an individual branch circuit monitoring. It has a simple display here. Basically right here when you press these two buttons, as it indicates it's set up, and you can go in there for certain reasons that most people won't need to go into. The main thing is checking out your metering. If you want to check the alarm record to see if there's any alarms, you just press both of these, which indicates right here, press both for alarm. It scans for alarms. It found no alarms. When you approach this machine, you'll see that the light may not be green, which means it is already an alarm. You can press the meter button here, and what it'll do is it scrolls through panel 1, which you can scroll individually. This is channel 1 indicating circuit 1, circuit 2, circuit 3 and 4 up to 42. You press the meter button, it'll go to panel board 2, probably the one down here. Yep. And you can scroll and look at various circuits to see what the amperages on those are. The third actuation is the kilowatt hours and the kilowatts of the panel boards 1 and 2. And then as you scroll through, you'll have panel board 3, panel board 4, and then the totals for panel board 3 and 4. That's basically what you have for there. On your remote communication, you'll have more information than this. You should have like peak current and all that, amongst other alarms, so you can see more information to find out if you get an alarm on high current, you can figure out what the problem is. And obviously, most of the time it's not really a high current, or somebody plugged something in. Sometimes that does happen where you did have an overcurrent. And I think that's basically it. Periodically, when you have somebody come in and scan your breakers to see if anything is toasty, anything is hot, and from there you can diagnose whether you can take the panel board off and check for currents to see if there's something that actually is a loose connection or you got too much current. And that's pretty much all you really need to do is check for heating, and then just check your voltages and currents. Just check a few of them to see if they're accurate, and they may need to be calibrated. And that's it.